Hi there, guys. Welcome to Outdoors Brews and Barbecue. This is Carlos, your host. Today's episode, we have some additional new guests we haven't had on before. We got some repeaters. So I'm going to start off with my left over here, which is our new guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself there, sir. You might want to pull that mic a little closer. They ain't going to hear a word you saying.
Yeah, for sure. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, little
I was about to
farther,
say, if
man.
that mic's 3 feet back, ain't no way nobody
My boy
outside this
Boom.
room's going to hear
Yes,
you.
sir, man. My name is Devin. You know, you can follow me on Instagram or find me on Instagram at Postcard Lamar. You know what I mean? This is my first time here on the podcast with the guys. I appreciate you guys for having me, man.
We're glad to
Sure,
have you
bro.
here, man.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
And then over to my right, far right, we got a repeating guest. Hasn't been here in a minute. Welcome back, Chris.
That would be Chris. You can follow me at the wrong Kennedy. Yes, and just spelled one word at the wrong Kennedy. First and foremost, I want to say, what's with the sexy voice? Like when you did the intro, bro.
Just for you, bro. You like it?
It's like
It's a new. We're working on it.
Oh, we're working on it.
you sounded like you were about to start reading erotic novels.
Aye.
All
And
right.
like usual,
What up? What up, y'all?
our co-host here. What's up, Hyro? Another
It was
week.
me. Just another day chilling.
Another week, another episode, bro.
You know what's up?
Some different. Let's see what Bruce we got tonight.
Got some good ones. You know.
And
Also excited about the park we're talking about today. You know,
yeah, bro.
one that actually a good amount of us have already been to.
Yep.
I last time I went to this park, I was a little tipsy, bro. I went to the bar that was across the street, but the park was interesting.
Are you
I
talking about
walked
the
it.
bar that's on the corner?
You know it.
I spent New Year's there.
There you go. Oh,
We'll bring that story back.
we'll bring that story back in a minute. But let's go ahead and let's hit up the first beer. The first beer we're gonna start off with tonight is the lowest APV level of the beer selection for this evening. Guys, I'm just gonna go by the names on this episode because I did not have time to get a description off these beers.
And they didn't have much description on them to begin with.
That's correct.
All right, then.
So like they were just they have these so that we can just taste them and give them ourselves. You know, the first one we got is Sam Adams Jacko.
Well, the Jacko and Cinnamon Nutmeg Adams Recall Memories of Freshly Baked Pumpkin Pie.
Oh, okay. It's
All right. So I'm reading
Okay,
this off the back of the
so
bottle.
there's something to read on the bottle. You know, when
Something to read
you
on the
get
bottle.
drunk enough, and you start looking
Yeah.
at the bottle.
So we're gonna start off with that one. So let's pull some of these bottles out of the cooler. All right.
And like we don't have many cups, so everyone's drinking out of bottles except for Chen.
Seems like we all drinking directly from the bottle source.
There you go.
Unless Chen really likes it, then then he'll have a canner bottle.
So let's start popping these things open. All right, you got an opener on there too.
Yeah,
right?
dude. You know me.
Passing that shit that way.
Thank you, sir. So right off the
Pass
bat,
that
you
to Devin.
definitely get the fall vibes here with the very orangey looking label.
Definitely they got that little orangey color tone to it.
Oh wow.
I'm not too impressed with the color of the beer. The color of the beer's way off from what I thought.
Yeah, they look like a normal ass beer.
So
That looks like a normal ass beer. You
the
right.
smell is actually really nice. It's aromatic, so you can definitely smell the
Ooh.
allspice, the cinnamon. Not
You
as
wanna-
not as strong as the other one we tried.
Hand
but-
that one over to Chen that way.
Yo,
You can
Chen.
Hand him that bottle too while you're at it. In case he wants any more afterwards. And then I'm gonna. You're right. Hand him that bottle. I'll pop open this other one. I'll drink from this one. No, I'm gonna drink from this one. It's fine. Oh, that reaction right there tells me he did like the beer. No, I'm
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Oh.
we gotta get Devin a beer.
Devin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Devin's just there
Cheers.
sitting. He hasn't said a word. And I was like, damn.
Yeah, he's just chilling quiet, dog.
He's a man of few words.
All right, I can go with that.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
gentlemen.
Cheers. Cheers. Y'all go tasting this beer as I go serving this demo. This
Definitely
display.
smell the nutmeg in this.
Yeah.
Without even tasting it.
Hey.
So right off the bat, it's definitely lighter than the one we
Ooh.
tasted from Kentucky.
Yeah.
It's definitely a light beer in the sense. I mean, like the color wise, it's not light. It's a little bit richer in the color, but I will say, it's pretty smooth.
Bro, I really like the sweetness there is to this beer.
It's got sweet. That's
It's
the
like
only.
sweet, but not like a super sweet.
It's
either.
not a super sweet. Ooh,
What was that, Chen?
What Chen say?
4 1/4.
4 1/4.
4.25 from Chen already.
4 1/4 from
I
Chen
like-
already.
I'm not the biggest fan of pumpkin, but this is pretty good to me. I'm not gonna lie.
You can fucks with this.
I feel like it's also refreshing for it for being a fall beer. You know, when you think about a pumpkin beer, not all of them are refreshing. Some of them are really dense and
Yeah.
they're strong.
They're like, bam, pumpkin in your face.
Right? This one doesn't feel like it hits you that bad.
Yeah,
Not at all.
All right.
I'm gonna go ahead and say like not at all. Like I think this is like a slider beer because like I can probably pound this back in like 5 minutes. Like it does. You know how there's some
We
beers that
probably
are
will pound it back in 5 minutes.
probably
That's
true.
what's gonna happen right now.
But like you know how some beers like you have trouble like like you have trouble just like chugging it like because it's such a strong beer.
Right.
Not this, man. This is
Nah.
smooth. And like the one thing that I do see that I like about it is the sweet aftertaste. It's not sweet when you drink it. It's the aftertaste that's sweet.
Yeah, it has a little after, but it's not like strong, like sweet, and like you feel it. Like I guess best way to explain it, like in the back of your head, like when it's too much sugar, it's like hits like your temple or something like that. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like, oh,
I also feel like it's a great beer that I can just have some great like honey baked ham with.
Oh,
yeah.
Mm.
I feel like you can have this at the park.
I love honey
Like-
baked ham.
Park
It's
in
the
the
season too.
It's a season
Yeah.
for that
Yeah,
honey
it's
baked
the
ham.
season.
But I feel like this beer has that wonderful transition between the flavor of the beer and that flavor you're gonna get from that honey baked ham.
Why you have to say honey baked ham, man?
Bro, just so
Yeah,
you start
you-
preparing for it
I love
mentally,
honey.
bro.
I'm one of those people that like Thanksgiving is like one of my favorite holidays simply because it's a holiday just to eat. Like
Bruh,
think about it.
who's gonna
Christmas
hate
is
that,
like
bro?
we're giving gifts for Christmas, but for Thanksgiving, what are we doing? We're eating.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing.
We won't be grubbing.
Like what was
See
it?
a Waterboy reference up there.
There you go. There you go. So me and one of our friends, Ramel, we have a tradition that when November 1st hits, we send each other the same video, and it's the preacher lady is like, I got beans, greens.
Being
Have you
Shirley
seen
Caesar,
it?
Shirley Caesar.
Yes. Every year we send each other the same video, November 1st.
And then you gotta say the Dominican side of it though.
But hold up. what's it-
Guandule,
Hey, what would you say?
Oh, yeah.
You name
because
it.
because like it's like you got the Dominican side too. It goes that way, and then you got the Dominican.
Crazy. Oh,
You know
man.
what? The more I drink it, the more I do
Yeah.
start to like it.
You could definitely have this for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like definitely, like we out here, like yeah, bring out that turkey. Let me get that pumpkin beer real quick, just to start off with. Though it's not gonna be what you be drinking the whole day.
This one does taste more like pumpkin pie than the other one we had a while back. This one tastes way more like pumpkin pie.
This does.
It's got a good flavor to it, man.
Yeah.
I really
I like
it.
this. It's not like overwhelmingly pumpkin. It's like
Well, let's also tell Devin here how we're gonna rate this beer, right? Because we didn't really give him too
Yeah.
much instructions on what direction we're gonna give this beer rating. Chen just threw us out a 4 1/4 right off the bat. But the highest you can give the beer is a 5.0. Right. This is based off of the Untapped app. All right. We are not sponsored by Untapped in any ways, guys. For you those out
sponsor
there
us.
listening, we'll be happy to get sponsored. That'd be awesome.
Sponsor.
But in Untapped, you look up the name of the beer and you have the ability to rate it from 0.25 as high as a 5.0. So everything goes by quarters. 5.0 meaning the beer is, great. It meets all of the things you're looking for.
You're like, fuck, damn, this good.
And that you would, gladly swear by this beer on a daily basis. That would be a 5.0. And then, a quarter is, this is the one and only time I'm going to taste
Like,
this shit.
I'm never gonna have this again. Fuck this drink.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? Like, being that I'm not the biggest fan of pumpkin, this is amazing. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Should have been here with Casey when we had the other.
You should have seen Casey's reaction.
Casey don't
does
like pumpkin
not
either.
like
he
pumpkin
tried the
beer.
same beer.
Not
No,
that much because we have
different pumpkin beer.
different pumpkin beer.
Well, pumpkin anything for me is not the go-to. I appreciate that, brother.
Are you a pecan pie guy?
Not
You don't like pecan?
You don't
pie?
like pie
really.
or apple pie? Come on, Devin.
I'm not a sweets guy.
Okay.
Okay, fair.
Got it.
You
Got
know,
it.
What about
I,
American
I have to really be in the. I like cheesecake if that's a pie.
Okay,
hell
hell
yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
There you go. There you
right,
go.
all right.
All right. All
If
right.
that's a pie, yeah. But I have to really be in the mood for it. Like
Mhm.
I'm not just like somebody who like is super into.
Just like,
sweets,
oh,
but
let me
this is fire.
I like this probably because it's not even that sweet either. Like it got that sweetness, but not like crazy amount. It's that I feel like it's the nutmeg that's giving it
Yeah.
a lot of that like flavor. I love nutmeg.
I would drink this for sure. Like I'd buy like a pack of this for sure.
Okay.
I think I'd give it like
What sometimes disappoints me about some of these beers, bro, is that they're only seasonals.
Yeah. This
So
is the
that,
season.
you know, you're like, damn, I feel like this food is gonna go great with this beer we tasted a month ago. You go to look for that beer, and that beer's
beer's
gone.
gone.
Ain't no more beer left over.
Sam Adams is famous for that.
They are famous for that, and they make great beers that they don't distribute. I was up there in Boston, and I was very impressed by some of the beers that they don't have at their different distribution systems.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate because it would be great if everyone can taste those things. Right?
How if you don't mind me asking, like, how long are these in season for? Like, how long do
That will
these-
probably be gone by next month.
like,
Usually,
after
Like Thanksgiving
Yeah.
and stuff.
If it makes it to Thanksgiving, you're lucky.
so like for example, summer ale is only around for the summer for which is
Yeah.
like 2.5 months. So like as soon as they mass produce a lot of it over the course of like that month and a half, and then that's it. They're
And
done.
then once it's gone, it's gone.
They go
Right.
back to their normal
It's not something
stuff.
that they're reproducing year round.
Correct.
Right.
All right. So
All
what's
right,
what's
I
that
love it.
score? What do you give it?
What are you gonna give it?
I'm not the biggest fan of pumpkin, but I will give this. I give this a 3.5.
Okay.
I give it-
3.5?
Okay.
That's fair.
It's not bad.
Okay,
That's fair.
damn, that's
fair
good.
I
rating.
give it a 3.5.
Okay.
That's good.
That's fair.
It is really good though.
I see you fucking with it.
You see,
You're like,
I'm
It's
along
almost
the,
gone.
I'm along the same lines as Devin. I'm not like a fanatic of sweet. Like I'd rather have savory or salty stuff like that. Like, so I'm gonna go ahead and say, even though I think it's a great beer, I'm only gonna give it like a 3.5. Like, the only reason I'm gonna give it that is because something like this, like it doesn't have any bite, right? So
Right.
like when I'm having a beer, like if you tell me, hey, we're gonna have a Corona, something like that, like I expect that to be a slider beer. Because like when I say slider beer, it means like it goes down easy. You can have like 4 or 5 of them and you'll be okay. The same thing goes for this. Like it's not a bad beer. It's just like it's a little sweet on the sweet side, you know. And like me, I'm not a fan of sweet, especially on my drinks. Like I like bitterness a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3.5. Yeah, I think that's a good
all
score.
right, all right. I give it. I'm with the like 3.5 for me too. Dependable, simple to drink.
I'm gonna stick around the same ballpark as all of you. I know Chen likes the pumpkin flavor a lot, so whenever it has to do with any of these fall beers, he really goes hardcore into it.
Yeah.
I almost gave it a 3.75 until I tasted it from the cup.
Was it different?
There's definitely a different flavor from the cup.
Mm.
And I guess it's because we gave it time to sit there and slightly decarbonate just a tad, and release some of the fumes, and it now tastes better with the head.
Oi.
Oi.
Yeah. The head guys would be the little bubbles, the little foam that develops on top of your beer when you pour it.
That's what she said.
Hey,
The white cloud. It tasted smoother from the cup. It tasted more of that nutmeg, more of that sweetness than you do from the bottle. In the bottle, it tasted slightly stronger because it's in there and it's been concentrated in the bottle, and you haven't allowed it to really decarbonate in any way or breathe because you're maintaining it in the bottle. When you pour it into the cup, it breathes, and that's the flavor slightly changed for me there. But I'm still gonna respectfully give it a 3.5.
Okay.
I just dropped that 25 that I was gonna give it.
I took that 0.25 away.
But took that 0.25.
I'll tuck it in for
So
later.
and like you guys said, I can see this for a regular day beer, a refreshing beer. I'm in the backyard and I'm gonna take a breather from lawn mowing the lawn. I want to take a cold beer. That's not a bad beer to go for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's Miami fall.
Miami
Like
fall.
and it's not super cold. Like it's just like cool, chill.
Bro, I was already seeing people today wearing freaking jackets like it's about
Well,
to
it's because
snow.
the weather. I mean,
yeah, the weather got a little.
Yeah,
chill.
but
You
that
know what it
slides
is.
though. That slides. That's a sweater.
Okay,
That slides.
Okay.
Nah,
okay.
I
you saw like
I saw legit North Face jackets, bro. I was
Oh,
it's
no.
like, bro, where's the snow? No, hold up. There's no snow outside. Why the hell you
Okay.
wearing a jacket
Yeah,
that can
that North
tolerate
Face.
negative 40 degrees?
but hold on. Remind you, we're used to like straight up,
Yeah.
70% humidity year round, right? Like we've had 90-degree Christmases up in here before. Like everybody knows, like we're all from Miami, so we know what that's like, right? But any excuse that
Well,
people get to like dust off their
I have to
sweaters and
say, I'm
I've
not
been
jackets.
from
dying
Miami.
to.
I'm sorry.
See, I wouldn't
I
be able to do that
apologize.
shit because I would be
Yeah.
sneezing the entire
Raised.
one afternoon. I wore that sweater from the freaking micro dust that's still on the jacket.
I
Well,
will.
Like, let me put it
Yeah.
to you this way. I went to California like a week and a half ago, and I can tell you, like, I've never needed a jacket around this time of year. I had to go buy a jacket. Like, I had to go put one on. And I'm
Bro.
like, what the hell? It's cold.
When you go anywhere north of Tallahassee, you should probably take a jacket.
I learned that lesson.
Right.
Devin, you got anything to add?
Bro, I have a turtleneck that I haven't been able to wear in like 2 years.
Hold on.
Should have worn it today.
So wait,
I would have
Damn,
loved,
bro.
I can't wait to, but I'm not gonna wear it in like 68. Nah. It's only like I'm not doing that.
Hey,
right
you
now.
see,
Wait for February and
Yeah.
hope that it gets cold enough for you to be
we
able
gonna
to
say that, but
respectfully wear that.
I know it now. We're gonna take a trip
Yeah.
out of town. We go somewhere cold.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Facts.
New York in February.
Right now, I'll stick to the hoodies.
Stick to the hoodies. All right. All right.
Hoodies is all year round.
Bro, I don't know about y'all. I'm ready for another beer.
Oh,
Shit.
I finished that.
All right, let me chug a lug it.
Yeah, I can go at your own pace.
Y'all can go at your own pace. That's fine.
Chen already finished.
Chen really like that damn beer.
No, Chen has a little left.
No, but I would really like buy this again for myself. Like just so that I could get some more of it. But I do actually enjoy this. I am enjoying this beer though.
All right, so what do we got up next?
So the next beer we're going to dive into is ironically called Free Dive.
Oh,
I just happened to use the word dive into.
by one of my favorite breweries, Coppertail.
Coppertail.
By the way, their background tour, I guess if you will, like behind the scenes tour, it's really awesome because you get a commemorative glass and you get a complimentary beer as well, and a discount if you want to buy a 12-pack or
Bro,
6-pack.
that floral smell right off the bat as you pop this can open is wonderful.
That
Yeah, I
smell
already got Chen.
that smell like Lala.
It smelled like that loud right there.
Yeah, it does. Like Swedish Kinshasa, bro.
I was about to
Swedish
say,
Kinshasa? Bro, it
Chen.
smells real good.
I know.
So, oh wait, this is an IPA.
This
Shit.
is an IPA, yes. Now, again,
It's a
guys,
IPA.
for those of you listening, for this specific brewery, and we chose this brewery because we are kind of focusing around the state of Florida today in this episode. And this brewery is located directly out of Tampa, so Tampa, Florida. The first beer we're going to jump into here is a single IPA at 5.9%. They call this beer specifically the Free Dive, and this is from Coppertail Brewery up in Tampa. So,
Oh.
as I'm here, giving you all the spiel here, I'll let these fools taste a little bit of beer. Chris's face is kind of telling me debatable. You're not an IPA fan, I know.
I'm not
So
an
for
IPA
you,
guy.
That's exactly why I shot at you first, because I know you don't like IPAs.
Okay. All right. Let me take a nice long drag on it. Hold on.
Nice
It's like
long
they
drag.
say, you take that drag. Like,
Okay. So first thoughts. Just for the record, just in case you've never heard this podcast before, I don't like IPAs, right? The only IPA that I've ever liked was the one that you served from Unbranded, right?
Okay.
The Unbranded Brewery, and like one of my favorite breweries in Miami. Shout out to them, love them. I'm a huge fan of Coppertail. This is probably not one of my favorite beers, simply because IPAs for me, for whatever reason, like I love the smell, the nice floral smell. That is one good thing that it has going for it. You can really smell the floral scent, which is nice, but that really funky hoppy aftertaste, it just doesn't do it for me,
do
man.
it for you.
Like I think for the first time ever, like if you want me to give my rating, I'm gonna give the lowest rating I've ever given on the show, and it's maybe like a 1.5.
Okay.
I know
Okay.
that that's brutal, but
Nah.
it's
We've had worse.
also I'm
Look,
biased because I don't like.
Give your taste buds a few minutes
Okay,
and do another tasting in about,
Sure.
2 to 3 minutes.
okay,
Because we just transitioned from a very sweet beer
okay. That's fair. That's
to
fair.
a hoppy IPA. And I myself can taste the difference, dramatic change in
Yeah.
taste. So give
I
your
kind of
taste.
switched it around my mouth a bit just to try to
Yeah.
take away some of the flavor.
Oy.
I kind of did that oral wash,
Yeah.
Oh,
There you go, Devin.
I had to take
Yeah.
your advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it like quick, really quick. I'm like,
Even for me, as I jumped into that beer just now, I was like, damn, this shit is like real hoppy.
Yeah.
All right. And
but
it's
the sweetness from the last one.
I've
that
had the
makes-
beer before. I didn't feel like it was that bad last time. It just, due to that
No, I feel
transition
like-
from that October beer.
Giving a little swish around and then like
Yeah.
now tasting it, it's good.
You know.
But
What
they
you
also,
thinking, Devin? You smell anything? You
I love the smell. The smell for sure on this beer calls my attention. The taste, though, that first taste, Devin's face says the same shit as Chris.
it's pretty light.
This ain't for me.
It's not bad though. I'm
Yeah, it's
just
not-
trying to like really like
Take it in.
take it in.
And to him, it tastes like burned wire.
Kinda.
Yeah.
But no, it
Some melting
I-
PVC.
IPAs are a lot for me. Like so
Yeah, a lot
you
for
know
you.
what
I mean, and I get that. Not everybody likes Indian Pale Ales.
And also IPAs though, sometimes they're different kinds.
There's a
Give
lot
someone
of
the wrong
different kinds.
IPAs.
But I do the simple stuff like the goose.
Okay.
stuff,
Well,
you know
Goose,
what I mean?
Goose Island. Goose Island is a good.
When
brewery.
we go off this podcast, and now I'm going to give you a name of a double IPA that I tasted over the weekend.
Uh-huh.
And you go taste that first. I would recommend you eat with that one because that one's at 9.5%.
Beautiful,
All right.
straight diesel gas.
And I can tell you that was the smoothest IPA I've ever had. I almost didn't know it was an IPA until I read the name.
Oh wow.
But that's the trick, isn't it?
You know?
Getting an IPA to have like not have that like straight off aftertaste.
And
That's
it had
hard.
a sweet aftertaste, a minorly sweet aftertaste that just made you want to drink more.
Mm.
Please send that to me.
Boy.
All right?
Okay, get
So-
the party started.
All right,
Let's
so
get this going.
If I have about like 2 of those, I'll be in a good vibe.
Yeah,
You feel like, yeah, I'm ready.
yeah, I started.
Where we going?
I decided to taste my palate before I ordered the appetizers. Wrong move. All right. I should have ordered the appetizers and then ordered the beers.
Yeah.
All right.
Look, I don't know about you, but I always got my beers first. And I ain't waiting for no food.
Hey, hey, hey.
Bring the drinks over.
you know what? As I go on, it's actually not that bad. I think you were right. It's because of the sweetness from the other beer. You know, I love Coppertail. Like I've been there. I've met people from there. They're really nice, really friendly brewery, and I've tried this beer before at the brewery because I did a flight. I'm gonna go ahead and say that I was a little unfair with my score before because like I just felt like that bitterness after tasting sweet,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still a low. It's,
Yeah,
it's
no, it's
gonna
still
be
not
low.
great, but it's like,
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Is this beer like available at like?
Yeah,
This is available.
readily
anywhere.
available. Readily available.
This is year round.
yeah, this is that. I bought this at Total One.
Okay.
Yeah, this is.
So I can
Sometimes
just
I
grab
think
it.
it's in Publix.
They
Mm,
have
more unholy.
Total Wine
I
typically
know
has
Unholy shows up all
3
the
of their
time.
beers.
You said who?
Total Wine
Total
typically
Wine?
has 3.
Currently,
of them.
one is out, which that's
One
what we
is
can
out.
get.
So that's why we brought in the pumpkin beer from Samuel Adams, completely irrelevant to the state of Florida. But we have been tasting out pumpkin beers
Yeah.
or fall beers throughout these last few episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So we brought in the Jacko.
Minus last week.
But
Minus last week.
Minus last week. Last week was
All rums.
We're just rums,
Yeah.
and last week was interesting.
question, like, can I go to a brewery and get this, like, in Miami
Oh, yeah.
or something like that?
Yeah, well, not here.
Well,
in
not
Miami.
in Miami.
You got to take a
in
3.5
Tampa.
hour drive up to Tampa.
Oh,
Wait,
okay,
hold on.
okay.
Some places might have it on tap.
Mm.
Some,
Well,
but not a
BJ's
lot.
does have it on tap.
There you go.
Oh, BJ's has this?
Yeah.
I don't. They have this
But
one on top. They have
Unholy.
the
The Unholy.
What
Sorry,
the-
not this one. The other
Yeah.
one we're
They
gonna
have the
taste.
next one that we're gonna taste.
On
next.
Sorry,
Unholy-
I jumped a little ahead.
Oh, no, all good, all
But-
good. But this
That one's not too
this
bad.
is good. I like this one. I'm not gonna lie.
What you gonna give it? Like I said,
I switched it around my mouth. I did the taste thing. and shit.
they giving some eyes right now, trying to like, wait, what's going on?
Hey,
Hold up.
hey,
Pause.
yo. But nah, I did. I mean, I like this one. I feel like if I have 1 or 2 of these, I'm good. I'll be in a good vibe.
I mean, but this one's got 5.9?
This
5.9, I
one's
think.
is
5.9%.
Yeah. So it's not
So
too bad,
it's
actually.
not bad. It's
This
not
one-
your Heineken that's in at 5 flat,
Yeah.
but
I like it. I like it better than some other IPAs I've tasted. Yeah, for sure.
This definitely, I would put this beer in the category of a lot of those like other like flat beers like Heineken, Corona, so todo esa vaina. I'll put this with those,
Yeah,
and that's I would rather have this than any of those.
I really wish they.
You know, I
had-
hate most of those anyway. So
I really wish they had a description of why they gave it the name.
Free-
Right?
free dive.
So
Oh no,
To me,
So they do talk about why they get the
Okay.
names when you go to when you do the behind the scenes tour with them. So for example, all the artwork that you see on the cans is drawn by an independent artist, right? So based upon that artwork that once they finally come up with a name, the way that the guy explained it was they look at accent notes or what they feel like after tasting it, and then the artist, once he draws something up for that, then they decide on a final name. So the dude, when he did the artwork for it, just pretty much drew like a guy with a snorkel. So that's why they called it free dive.
Oh, that's a like snorkel.
Yeah, what you think it was?
And there's another one called Night Swim.
like some
from them.
damn dog,
glasses.
we only on beer
And
too,
there's
bro. What's up?
You're
By
right.
the way, Night
And
Swim.
there's a lobster on his head. too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
No, I just didn't pay too much attention.
Now
to
you're
it.
looking
That's
at it.
crazy.
Yeah, some of these cans though, that some they made, they look pretty dope. You look at them like, damn, this is actually a lot of detail in this.
Nah, for real. He
By
got
the
like
way,
a
this
little-
brewery does not do glass bottles. They only do cans because
What about when they do crawlers?
when you go there, I don't think they had crowlers. Oh wait, no,
Hmm.
they had big cans. They had
Okay, so they had 32 ounce and probably had
yes.
64 ounce.
So when you go there, they're very specific about not using glass because it's more. It's not. They said it's more environmentally friendly to do aluminum, and then it's more recyclable. So they're big on that there.
Okay.
I highly recommend if
I
you're
can
ever in
respect that.
Tampa. If you're ever in
I can
Tampa,
respect that for sure, bro.
it's right next to the port, the warehouse district. I definitely recommend going there. The tour is like $10, and you get a free beer with it, and you get a free commemorative.
I like
glass.
this.
And
Now,
this is Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm being an asshole, but
Why?
there was a flavor that I did pick up at the beginning, and maybe it was the transition from the sweet to the bitter.
What was it?
What would you?
And I'm gonna relate it off the name. The name of the beer is called Free Dive. Typically, you free dive in salt water.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was coming right out of diving in salt water, and I just
I
put
took a mouthful.
like a double mint in my mouth.
So a little
Or-
like mint and some gum.
Tell us more about things you put in your mouth.
Yeah.
Tell us more.
Pause.
Kind of what crossed in my head as I first tasted the beer. Because there is a slight saltiness to the beer as if you taste it.
Correct.
So I kind of relayed that to the drawing of free
Mhm.
diving in the salt water. And then
I picked that up too.
hoppiness aftertaste kind of just felt like now your mouth is full of salt water, and now you just put in a piece of gum, and now you're getting that little mint aftertaste, and kind of
That was
tastes
the
almost
begin-
exactly to the beer.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
IPAs as a whole like have a crap ton of hops in it, right? So
Yeah.
like they are overloaded usually with hops. Like, for example, me, one of the first beers I ever tasted was, I think the second beer I ever tasted was Hop Gun. And I think that's what freaking ruined it for me because that beer is
Bro,
like,
that beer's got a bad reputation in this podcast.
it's got
Yeah, because that's the first
You
one
guys
most
have
people
tasted
drink.
That's that beer itself in this podcast has got a bad reputation because everybody that refers to these IPAs that we taste here always refer to Hop Gun.
The
as
first one they had,
the first IPA they tasted, and it's just trauma to the brain,
because it's a cool name for a freaking beer.
especially to a Top Gun fan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he went, "Oh, Hop Gun, it must be awesome."
But funny enough,
Huh?
that's exactly why I went after it.
Yeah.
The guy's like, "Oh, we serve Hop Gun on tap," and I'm like, "Fuck yeah, give me that shit, pour that shit." I take 2 sips and I'm like, "What the fuck is this? This tastes like straight ass water, bro. It literally just
Aye.
tasted like ass water."
Oi.
And my wife goes to me, she's like, "Babe, why do you have such a thing against it?" And I go, "Because it just literally tastes like straight ass. I just don't that like." No disrespect to the people. Who was it that makes Hop Gun again?
Funky Buddha.
Funky Buddha. No disrespect to Funky Buddha. Like, I love y'all's beers, but that is just one where y'all missed big time. And I'm pretty sure
that
that
big
there's
for you?
somebody out there in the
I
internet.
like Funky Buddha.
That's what I'm saying. Like Funky Buddha, like
Funky Buddha makes some great stuff. That one beer though, bro, it's kind of like the experience that we saw Chris have when he first put this one into his mouth today, after having that
Pause.
sweetness.
he's talking about things I put in my mouth.
Just put it in your mouth.
Someone has an oral fixation.
Oh. And what can I say? It's got skills, bro.
So right after he tasted that sweet beer at the beginning, and then we jumped over to this IPA. His reaction at first was like, "I can't drink this shit." I saw it in his face. All right, and I feel like that was his exact reaction when he tasted Hop Gun.
You should have seen my face. I've never. I think in the entirety that I've been drinking alcohol since I was like 17, I literally have never returned a beer ever in my life, and that is the first time that I ever returned. Probably, actually, the only
bro.
time I've given a beer back to a bartender. I'm like, give me something else. This is nasty.
I feel like I would rather have a hop gun than have a 151.
Excuse me?
I'd rather drink 151.
Boy, I'll fight you.
I will drink 151 all day over Hop Gun, bro.
You got 151, right, Devin?
Bacardi?
Yeah, no, we just tried, yeah. I was like, yo,
I
you
had it before.
I mean, 151,
Yo,
you can't have more than like.
But I've
you know,
never
2
had. I've
ounces.
never had the what you guys are talking about right now. The hop gun.
The hop
Never
gun?
had
Hop
it.
gun?
Oh, you can find that thing at Publix.
like it's not
Honestly,
a bad thing. Once you have
it's-
IPAs and then you drink it, you might appreciate it more. But if you start off trying to drink that compared to other IPAs, it ruins the vibe for everyone.
Let me give you some advice. If you decide you want to try it for yourself and judge for yourself, ask for a sample. Just like at BJ's, when we want to try one of the new beers or whatever, we ask for a sample, and they usually give it to you. And then judge it for yourself. Don't go out and spend money on it. Like, I'll be honest with you, don't go to Publix and spend
Or if
money
you
on it.
go to somewhere like Total Wine that you can buy a single can, you at least only invested in one
Absolutely.
can.
Yeah.
You didn't
You get
bother
6 different
investing
ones you wanna
into
try.
a 6-pack.
But what is it that you didn't like? In it?
It's one of the, like, IPAs as a whole are straight up, you get hoppy flavor, right? This beer has like quintuple the amount of hops that are normally in a beer. So like,
Oh, got you.
you're getting one of the strongest pale ales, and it has such a really.
I feel like this has like compared to a lot of them, it's extremely light for a hoppy
Oh,
beer.
no,
like,
no, like no
extremely
disrespect. Like the best IPA I've ever tasted was that one from Unbranded, right? So that one I gave
Represent.
like a
Yeah.
4.75. I gave that
So
one
I
a
gotta go to the other
4.75.
brewery.
This one, I gave it like a 1.5. Like now I'm gonna, just upgrade it to like a 2. Like I think it's fair. Like it's passable. Like if somebody gave this to me and there's nothing else to drink, I drink it, right? I drink it because it's not that bad and it goes down easy. But still, it has that little bitterness straight up. Like if I have bitterness after I drink something, I can live with that. But bitterness straight up to taste, nah,
Okay.
can't do it.
I respect that. I respect that.
All right. So
Now we're talking about, free diving and the sea and seawater.
We free
and
dive.
hoppiness.
dive in.
Let's go into a little bit of.
wait, hold up. We didn't get
Oh, we didn't give this shit a
And
rating,
you
bro.
about to run into the next.
Yeah, I was
like
about,
where
I
our
was about
ratings
going
at?
to the
Let the
outdoor
man
part.
review it. Let him give his score.
So Devin, what's your rating on this?
Yeah, man, thinking hard, bro.
My favorite. It's like
That man thinking hard.
Chen, what you got? Chen. All right, Chen gives it a
I'll give it
3.5.
3.
3.5
All right,
or 3.
3.
A 3. All right, flat 3. We got 3.5. We
A
got
3
3.
and a 3.5. Chris, what
Chris?
about you? You gonna stick to that 2.5? You gonna bump up a little bit?
No, 2.5 is where I live.
2.5
That's where
is
it
where you
stays?
stay. all right?
Okay.
Okay.
Right
Damn,
there.
this one's the lowest one
Huh?
so far this podcast.
Porata?
I'm gonna give it a 375.
375. All right, pretty good. I give it 3.5. I'm with Chen.
Okay.
3.5 is not bad. Actually, like I could definitely kick back with this beer. Like this one, I could definitely like have in the fridge, get off work, throw one back, no problem. So I give it 3.5.
I can drink this beer easy. This beer's to me a smooth for a single IPA.
Yeah, like and then like it's surprisingly smooth. That's why I was like I could definitely throw this back like easily.
I'm not a beers expert. I don't get paid to
We
tell
don't-
you what I think about beers.
We don't need to be experts. We just need to be drinkers.
I just I've gone through the tasting phase of IPAs through 2020 as we were all stuck at home. And at least through my experience, I came to discover that doubles, triples, quadruples seem to be smoother than singles. But for a single, this one is not bad. It's not like the experience that Chris is describing with Hop Gun.
Mm-hmm.
Because I had that same experience. I had that same experience.
The face
And I
of
can back him
disgust
up
and
on that
disappointment.
comment. I'm not going to bury the beer 6 feet underground, but it's definitely a very hoppy IPA.
But some
Yeah.
people like that. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I've been around a bunch of dudes that are like, oh man, IPA. Like my uncle, right? My uncle, I guess by marriage, if you
Mhm.
will, like my uncle-in-law. Do you call him
Sure.
uncle-in-law? Whatever.
Whatever the hell they call it.
This dude,
Your wife's
like,
uncle.
Yes, my
Yeah,
there you
there
go.
you go.
So this dude is obsessed with IPAs. Like he drinks like Sierra Nevada, like Sierra Nevada's IPAs,
See, that's a great
which is
example.
actually a good IPA. I will say, that's one of the very few that I like.
Okay.
But I bought him a case of Hop Gun, and even he was like, "Wow, this is a little bit
A little
too
too much.
strong." Like I brought it to because we usually have like Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner at his house, so I bring him that as like a gift every year, and he goes to me, he's like, "Yeah, this is a little strong, right?" And this dude, all he likes is IPAs.
Yeah,
So,
you
like,
got him.
We like
Got him.
when we were in Cali, because his daughter was the one that was getting married. Like he just went straight for the IPAs at this like self-serve place that we went to, and the whole night he's like, "Hey Chris, you got to try this IPA, bro. Try this IPA." And
Trying
I'm
to get you on IPAs.
right. He is trying so hard for me to get me to like it, and I just can't fucking do it, bro. I'll take a triple Belgian. I'll take like a lager, but man,
No IPAs.
IPAs just can't do it.
All right. What are we jumping to next?
I was going to jump into the outdoors part of this podcast.
This
you
is the
know.
part I want to get to. This.
What do we got? What do we got?
This is it's not a national park per se, but it is definitely a historic site in the state of Florida.
Yes, it is.
It is registered as part of the U.S. National Registry of Historic Places.
Mhm.
That is Castillo de San Marcos.
I've been there.
you
Yeah.
know? So it's an old Spanish fort right off the Bay of St. Augustine.
Yes.
And I came across the fort because I was a little tipsy at the bar right across the street,
The one in the corner.
the one in the corner.
The one in the corner. Yeah.
And I'm there with a wife, and we were on a summer trip. And I was driving down. That was one of our stops. Was to stop in St. Augustine on the way back down to Florida. And I stopped there, and I was like, "Damn, look at that fort! Let's go check out the fort." But the let's go check out the fort was after I was like 7 beers in,
Oh.
and I was like, "Damn, that fort looks interesting." But it's getting dark, so let's move quick. And I literally walked around the fort right before the sunset, and right off the bay there, you get some nice color tones with the
You get some
sunset.
good photos up there.
You get some great photos.
Oh yeah.
And then you definitely get a great sunrise because the fort is right off the east coast of Florida, so you can watch the sunrise right from the edge of the fort. And if you really want to get some deep shadows, and now I'm going a little too detailed into photography, but some deep shadows, that will be the time to go. Would be at morning sunrise or early morning. Shadows are very visual. But relating back to the fort sits on a 20 and a half acre lot or area. It is all made out of coral rock.
Mm-hmm.
The fort was designed in the shape of a massive square with like triangular corners.
Yep.
So the center of the fort's perfect square, and then you have like these triangular exterior parts where they put the cannons onto the corner of the fort. And the ship
That's the only
came
part I
anywhere
ever
near the
care
bay.
about. I'm gonna go to the fort. Cannons. Where they got the cannons at?
They would blow a hole in the ship that came near the bay, right? But the walls I think are about 12 feet tall. Correct?
Yeah,
if I'm wrong.
correct.
You guys have been there too, right?
About, I don't know. These bitches thought I'm like I was trying to jump and try to see it.
What's
Nah, they're
even
probably taller than 12 feet. They're probably about 15 feet
I
tall
kept trying to go.
from the base level of the grass.
it's huge. The place is huge, and then also it's considered one of the most haunted places in St. Augustine.
Yeah.
We took a ghost
Yeah, it's
tour
a lot of-
there. I'm only gonna say this is that like this group, we were in this group, and
You got a bunch of little pendejos.
yeah. But this we did a ghost tour, and then at the end of the ghost tour they tell you, hey, everybody start taking photos because you might see something in the photos. And
It's me running with my bare ass.
I shit, that would not be surprising.
Bro.
But
That wouldn't surprise me.
I shit you not, this person in our group took a photo, and you could see the dark behind them, but you could see the outline of freaking angel wings behind this person. Like
Of course.
it was the crazy. I said to them, I'm like, man, that shit's fake. That shit's
Of
fake
course
as fuck.
it is.
That shit's fake as fuck.
But
And,
see,
the,
the whole point is to get into it, to be a part of it. I just
Exactly.
kind of laugh and be like, all right, I see what you did there.
Bro,
And
that's
I
a
give it to you.
hidden employee acting as
Yeah.
a guest.
that's
on
what
the
I
tour,
said.
bro.
I'm like, my
That
wife.
photo was already pre-digitized onto that
Yeah.
phone. Don't give me that horse shit.
That's what I said. I'm like, man, that shit's fake.
See, but when I go to tours like that, I'm always wondering what they're gonna do because everyone has something there. Like, if you look here, I was like, just to see, like, what you got for me. Theirs wasn't too bad.
Mm-mm.
That was just like, all right, okay.
I do got to tell you though, the forts were very well maintained for it being built between 1672 and 1695.
Yeah,
So So we're talking about a fort that's 325 years old,
Yeah.
more or less.
I'm not good at math.
That's
Wow.
not bad. It's not in bad conditions for a fort that's that old. So they've kept it up with the maintenance of that fort since it was built, and it's definitely a historic site recommended to go visit if you
Yeah.
are within the St. Augustine area of Florida. And already talking about St. Augustine, there is a must go and try. We all got different taste buds,
Yes, we do.
but let's
like
talk about
food.
the barbecue section. And I love food, especially-
I like food. That's
especially when it's made out in the grill. right.
Mhm,
There's a
mhm.
place there called Mojo. I'm going to say it in English, and then I'm going to refer back to it in Spanish. Mojo, Mojo, Old City Barbecue. Mojo, Old City Barbecue. And I ordered the sample platter.
Nice.
That shit brought a little bit of everything.
Shit, I'm hungry now.
Between the brisket, the mac and cheese,
Ooh.
smoked
Mm.
mac and cheese,
Ooh.
Smoked mac
And
and cheese.
smoked mac and cheese, bro.
Man,
Nah, you got
that's
me
like,
like
that's like
that-
holy shit.
That's like, yeah.
It's like, oh,
Between the
smoked mac and
brisket,
cheese.
the smoked mac and cheese, and the 3 different beers I had there at that one restaurant, bro, that was, and I had, the platter is big enough. I had smoked food for like 2 days after the trip was done in St. Augustine. My ass was driving down the turnpike and I was still having smoke meat at the toll plaza.
Damn.
Any place that makes smoked mac and cheese. I'm gonna
Yo,
go- I'm gonna
damn.
go
I
there.
now want like
I'm
some
fucking
smoked
going
meat.
there.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Smoked mac and
Right?
cheese?
Like I'm like,
And-
yo, I
and
want
they're
some
not-
smoked
they-
mac and cheese right now.
They weren't extremely pricey at all. They were actually pretty decent as far as prices are involved. I think the average appetizer was like $9 to $11, and the average main meal, like course, was somewhere between 13, and I think the most expensive one on the menu was like $27.
That's not bad
That's
at all.
fair. That's fair.
It's fair.
It's for a barbecue, especially if it's well sized too.
Yeah.
If you got a lot of like the portions were big apparently for just like a sample.
It was not bad. Not bad at all. So if you guys ever want to check out the
Sampler,
menu,
not a sample. Let me see.
right? If you guys ever want to check out the menu, we will be putting the link up on the subcredit information of this podcast episode.
On our, on our podcast or on Spotify
Spotify,
or on YouTube or on Twitch.
the whole 9 yards.
Get those plugs in, gentlemen. Plug it.
You catch us all in places.
But now that we're focusing on the state of Florida, there is one last beer from Coppertail.
Got it. Had
So
a
let's-
little kick. I'm ready.
Let's relay back to the West Coast over to Tampa
Get ready.
because Coppertail is in Tampa.
Get ready, gentlemen.
This one's for you, Chen.
The unholy one.
This is definitely my favorite beer from this brewery.
Absolutely.
I get called
Um,
unholy all the time. So
The name wasn't so much the reason for the favoritism, but I'll go with that. Sure, unholy it is.
Wait, but who told you about this beer?
When I first came across this beer was at BJ's, the restaurant. They had it on tap. And we came to taste this beer because we liked one of their seasonal beers,
Mhm.
which
Mhm.
also falls within the same family classification of this beer.
And they were, I think, out of the beer at the time.
And they were out of the one that they typically have during end of the year holidays called the Grand Cru. But the Grand Cru is from BJ's Brewing Restaurants, and that is a triple Belgian style beer. But-
it's one of my faves right there.
That's
Yeah.
one of my favorite.
When it comes around, we're
classifications.
gonna be on the show.
It's the Rolls Royce of beer.
The Rolls Royce of beer.
Damn right.
But when they were out of that, I was like, damn, they out of that? What the hell am I going to drink now? But they had this. So they was like, oh, taste this one. See what you think. I had not had Unholy before that day. And after that day, I was like, damn, this beer is not bad and I can get this year round. You best believe I'm going to be
Oh,
fine.
that's
I actually have a case of this at my fridge at home right now.
Oh, I have this. I have 3 of these in the back of my fridge.
I carry a case of these like always in the house. This is my go-to. I want to get fucked up beer. Like this is what when Heido told me this is what we were reviewing today. I'm like, you know what? I'm totally gonna be there. I'm gonna do this. I can't say no to this.
I already knew this. That sounds
Cheers.
like unholy.
So honestly, on the face of this planet, this is probably one of the top 3 beers that I love. I don't know why. It's taste it for yourself and see. You can see.
Like taste. This is this taste, smell, experience.
So I will say one thing about the beer is that when you first taste it, it gives you that vibe. It gives you that vibe of IPA, Like it really does. But then as you keep drinking it, that feel of the IPA goes away. And then you get the full triple Belgian style.
So it got that. So normally it got that bitterness, but then it just kind of smooths itself out when it goes. As it goes like, oh wait, hold up, and it's just like, wait, okay, let me hit it again. You take another sip, you're like, all right, you just keep drinking it because it's.
And I stand corrected. It's not a triple Belgian. It is an American triple ale.
Oh, we all get standard.
That's
And
all right. We
corrected.
all got corrected there. And I'm trying to hide this other shit out of the camera, and I keep on leaving it in the camera. God damn it. There we go. So it is an American triple ale, as Chris said. We have all been corrected.
Yes.
It does go by the name Unholy.
Y'all calling me again?
This contains, if I'm not mistaken, 9.2% APV.
Diesel gas.
So this one is
So take it in, Devin. Take it in.
Take it in, Devin. Taste it well. Yeah.
Because it's so smooth that you don't think it's one of those high proof beers, and that's what makes
I
it
just
like.
tasted it the first time. I was like, and when you said 9.2, I'm starting.
But what?
To look
Yeah,
at
that's
it.
He picked up the can real quick.
They start
Started
looking
looking
at
at
you
it.
quick.
He's
Yeah.
like, oh,
It's like,
shit.
what is this?
Yep.
But I will say one thing is Coppertail knows how to make a beer. It kind of is deceptive, right? It gives you that little bitterness up front, but then as it goes down,
Exactly.
it's
It's just like
smooth.
it's smooth. It's like, wait, hold up. It ain't as bitter as you think it's gonna be. You'd be like,
It's an art form. That's all I'm gonna say.
It
It's
is.
it's a
This
It is.
one, this one's very impressive. I like this beer a lot. It is definitely an art form of this brewery. The drawing to go with the beer kind of puts you in that, oh, whatever. They kind of put the drawing there to go with the name. But when you taste the beer, you're like, wow. And then you start looking at the artwork, and you're like, I can see how the artwork relates to the name.
Yep.
Right?
I mean, the drawing is of a monk that's all tatted up and he's got a knife.
yep,
So,
Yeah.
sounds like me.
Yeah.
well, funny enough,
Oh.
since I've been there, the guy, I asked him why that for the artwork, and he said specifically, he's like, because monks, back in the 1700s and 1600s, pretty much for the last like almost 500 years, monks were actually the first to make beer.
Yeah.
Right. They were actually the first to figure out the fermentation of wheat to make it beer. Right. So it was kind of like paying homage to that, is what he said. But
Well, if you really want to go into that history can go all the way back to the year 1060.
oh,
That is the
Getting-
oldest beer we have. Still made until today. The brewery still does exist.
Wait, what?
Yep. And I came across this because I was talking to another friend of ours that we all know. And he's like, you need to find a beer that says the year they were first started. Because that shit's old as hell. It is the oldest one out there. I was like,
Yingling.
no.
Who is it?
Way beyond Yingling.
No,
bro.
that's way beyond.
Who's older than Yingling?
Yingling's the oldest one here in the U.S.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
This place is over in Europe.
what's the name?
I have
Okay.
a photo. I do not know name in my head.
no,
I-
no,
I
no
do
name
not
in the
do-
head. No
I do
name in
not
the head.
know name in my head.
Do not know name in my head. But when you look at the can right on the bottom of the can literally says beer originated in 1060.
Wait, wasn't it like in like Belgium or
It
in
is-
like
it is.
like I think
And the
Oh,
can
crap.
it's like a goldish yellow with like some green
I
font.
think we were talking about this
Yes.
too. We were trying to
It's
look for it.
old as hell.
Thank God they're not based in the U.S. because the IRS would be like, "Yo, it's time to pay all them back taxes
Yeah.
for 1,000 years."
Got to pay your
Uh-huh.
taxes.
But that beer, I'm curious to taste, and I didn't even bother looking at the APV level. I'm sure that they got some interesting stuff for being a brewery that's that old.
Talking about 1,000 years of skill.
Yeah, man.
Good God,
1,000 years worth of practice of how to make a beer.
for real.
Shit. They gotta have some interesting stuff.
Oh boy.
But relating back to Unholy and how unholy
Hello
it is.
again.
What are you gonna give it though?
Well, actually, before you give it a number, what are you getting from it? What do you feel from this?
I like it, man. Like I said, when I tasted it, I was like, 9.5 is crazy in order to taste like this. It tastes good. I'll
So, like, what
say-
type of notes? Like, what do you feel like? The bitterness, sweetness, like, for you, your personal taste. You don't gotta be like what we say. What do you feel? What makes you be like, I might drink this again.
Because I feel like as far as like taste wise and what I'm getting from it, bro, I like committed.
Yeah, you know, commit.
I like to drink like high or
High
like
proof.
these
You like me? We
types,
about that high proof.
and then especially if it doesn't taste like too much, bro. I would drink like
You drink that thinking this like, oh yeah, it's like drinking like a Corona. You're like, wait, hold up, and then you gonna be like, hold up.
facts. I'm gonna give it 3.75 for
Okay,
Okay.
okay,
3.75.
solid.
I mean, it goes without saying. If I carry a case of this in my fridge, you know, it's
A 2.
no. You know, I want to give it a 5 because I'm a huge fan of it, a huge proponent of it. But you know, because of the little bitterness factor of it, like that it does have, fuck it, I'll give it a 5.
Hey,
Fuck
Okay.
it, fuck it,
Hold
I'll
up.
give it a 5.
Chen,
I love it.
we didn't see your numbers. Oh, Chen gives it a 3.75. All right, all right. IPA, not IPA, yeah.
Sure.
I give it a
It
4.
does have a hoppiness to it.
Well,
Well, I agree
if-
with Chen on that.
If you look at the can, it says it right there. It says sacrilegious amounts of hops with a traditional Belgian touch.
Yeah, so I give it a 4. This is one of my go-tos. So
I'm gonna give it
Okay.
a 4 as well. I'm gonna stick to a 4 on this one. And I've had this one multiple times at home. I still have some at home, if I'm not mistaken. But this is definitely one that is easy to find here in South Florida, and I feel is a great beer to accompany many different types of dishes.
mm-hmm.
I ate it.
Like
with
normally, it
Chinese food
definitely
one
has to be
time.
with like something.
You ate it or you drink it?
I ate, well, I,
Damn, my boy ate the can. He was like, "Yo, this is so good."
right there.
so I ordered what was it? Szechuan beef. I ordered Szechuan
Ooh.
beef with fried rice. It's the number 3 at the place that I eat Chinese food. Szechuan Silver Palace is called.
I'm about to
Um,
say, Silver Palace is the place. That's where you go
Silver
to down
Palace by my house. Shout out to them.
here.
One can of this with like that combo because it comes with like 2 spare ribs. It comes with an egg roll, the soup, and then the rice and the meat. Fire.
Also, their
Fire.
off-menu stuff.
Okay.
Woo.
Fire.
Fire. I
Yeah.
feel like someone's already floating a little bit.
That man feeling good over there. Huh?
It's like I can't feel my face.
I'm here for the ride, brother.
That's what we want, dog.
Yes, sir, man.
I mean, for me, it's not so much when I can't feel my face; it's when I can't start feeling my fingers.
Oh,
Yeah, when my
still
fingertips
got
start
it.
going numb, I know I've already borderline in my cap. My limit. You know? But this is definitely a beer I would say I would have year round, man. And if anybody has any other comments for today's episode, I think we're pretty much closing it out.
So the free dive and the unholy is year round.
Year round.
Yeah, that one we can find anytime.
About to go get
Unholy you can find in Publix most of the time. Sometimes the free dive because I've seen it sometimes.
I've
But
seen
that one,
nice
Total Wine, you'll find both of them. So everyone out there might be in your supermarkets. Maybe I don't know how your markets work. If you have a Total Wine, this will probably be there. Maybe depends on distribution.
I highly recommend
But-
Night Swim. Night Swim is also a
We
really
wanted to try that one. We couldn't find it.
Night
It's
Swim is a
completely sold out right now.
very, very good beer. Very, very good beer.
So is the night swim the one you take before you do the sea dive?
Wow.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
That's what you had before you get.
Anyways, I guess that's it for today's episode of Outdoors Brews and Barbecue. Unless any of y'all have anything else?
No.
No.
All right, it was
That's
nice
it.
having y'all.
Nice having
I appreciate you all letting me, come and be a part of you guys' platform. I've enjoyed it.
for sure, Devin.
All right,
Yes,
all
sir,
right.
man.
Good.
Oh,
Need you have
coming, bro.
back you again. Need you have you back again, bro.
We'll be
Yes, sir.
You too, Chris.
Yes, sir. I'm happy
Everyone,
to
give
be
out
here.
your Instagrams before we close out.
Shout out is my name is Chris, and then I'm at the Wrong Kennedy. The Wrong Kennedy.
Devin.
But you're the right Kennedy, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I created it that way is because everybody asked me the same question since I was a freaking kid. Are you related to those Kennedy? I'm like, nah, you got the wrong Kennedy. You got the wrong one.
okay.
My Instagram is postcard Lamar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Follow me.
Yeah.
We'll connect for sure. Yeah.
Yo, he gonna be out here. He might get an album out
Hey, you
soon.
never know.
You
We
know,
waiting. We waiting.
Maybe someday.
Maybe we'll get maybe we'll get a sponsorship, bro. You know.
Hey, you know.
Hey, you know, got a shout out.
We'll work on it.
You know, y'all know, find us. At barbecue.
then-
Bleh. Outdoors brews.
Outdoors Brews and Barbecue for Carlos, and then you got Zero Conclusion.
Outdoors brews barbecues.
Outdoors Brews BBQ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm, you know me, at zero conclusion.
Zero.
Because there ain't no conclusion when I'm around.
Yeah.
We just keep going.
All right, guys, that's it for tonight's episode of Outdoors Brews and Barbecue. Until the next one, thanks for following us and chatting in.
Peace.
Later.
Have a good night, guys.